Today, we have the pleasure of speaking with Matteo. He is the founder of Volpi Outdoor Gear. And check this out. His flagship backpack is coming in at 14.8 ounces. That's crazy, right? So this just might be your favorite new backpack. Matteo's passion for hiking and outdoors pretty much led him on this life-changing journey along the PCT. But when he came back to Mexico, he was disappointed because he basically found a lack of high-quality outdoor gear options available, which inspired him to create his own backpacks and create the outdoor brand called Volpi Gear. So what's going on, Matteo? Welcome to the podcast, man.
Hello. Oh, man. You did your research. That's exactly what happened.
I did the research. Yes,
yeah.
I did. Yes. So, and Matteo and I, we met a few weeks ago on a little consulting call and hit it off super well. And to be honest, I was really inspired by his commitment to creating these higher paying jobs for folks in Mexico where he's living right now. And obviously the fact that he got his backpack somehow down to 14.8 ounces. So one of the things, Matteo, I would love to kind of kick this thing off with is I would love to hear about the process, your process that you went through to create this backpack, right? They had to be you're probably hiking at one point, right? And you were probably thinking, man, this is missing this is missing that. How did that whole process go?
Well, actually, I think it was not very technical kind of an approach. It was more I just wanted to make a backpack that worked, So yeah, so that was my first kind of goal, And so because I'm not a sewer, so I don't know how to create to sew, So I was looking for a sewer here in Mexico, in Guadalajara. And I found this guy, Don Pepe, which was a 6-year-old guy, super talented. And he helped me build the first backpack, which sucked. I was like, no. He built that, and I was like, no, man, I can't do that. So yeah, then, we made 5 more prototypes until I was like, okay, this works. This actually works, So yeah, it was not my ideal backpack. Of course, I've been evolving what my ideal backpack is. And the one that is 14.8 ounces, I know the grams, I don't know the ounces. That's the UL40, the one with the hip belt. So that was the first one. And right now there's the fast pack, which is for me, is my perfect pack. I love that. So yeah, maybe that process of building the ideal backpack, it's on the fast pack, in the new backpack. That's my dream pack. It's so amazing. The only bad thing is you need a 9 pound base weight.
Got it. So you kind of have in the brand, you basically have 2 kind of a main backpacks, right? One is a 40 liter, which is the 14.8 ounces. And that sounds like it's mostly used by a lot of thru hikers. Am I wrong or correct with that one? Yeah. And I'll come back to the fast pack in a second, but staying on the 40 liter one, it sounds like people have been using it on the PCT for a few years. It sounds like there's some people on it right now. Have you gotten any feedback from them on the pack? Are they loving it, or what are they saying about it?
Yeah, well, on the UL40, there's a bunch of people that love the pack, but I think it's a common design. If you see other frameless backpacks, brands like Weigh My Gear, what's the other one? Wilderness Design, Superior Wilderness Design. All these frameless backpacks are kind of the same, in my opinion. Even the UL40, it's similar to them. The only thing is that the UL40, our pack, I haven't seen a lighter backpack for that capacity in the market.
Right.
Like it's like crazy lightweight. And that was like I was just building a backpack and oh man, this weighs like nothing.
All of a
I
sudden you
think
put it on a scale and you're like, whoa,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Wow.
I guess it's the Mexican stuff, man. I don't know.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So it's kind of, so the design is similar to some of the other ones out there, but what really sets it apart is what sounds like you're saying is the weight of
Yeah,
it.
of course the weight is there's like this relationship with the design, of course.
Mhm.
For example, our backpacks are so they just have like these four long pieces of fabric that just create like this huge like stuff sack, and on the back there's no layers. No, so it's only like one piece of fabric. And in other brands, they make two layers to make it like more protect so it don't scrub against your back. But the thing is that with this ultra fabric, you don't need that. So I've been using my packs with ultra fabric for I don't know how many miles, a lot. And
Really
yeah, it's like super tough material. It's crazy. It's crazy. I know, like, wow, yeah, it's amazing.
awesome. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah,
So that's a good design feature right there to know about. Awesome. Now, then going back to the fast pack, and who would you say, so you kind of, again, we have the 40 liter, that's kind of more for like maybe some good ultralight through hikers doing the PCT, something like that. Now the fast pack, who would you recommend that for? So that's 30 liters and you're like, well, you got to have a base weight of like 9 pounds, right?
yeah.
Who's mostly buying that and what are they doing with it?
Well, I think through hiking, I mean, that's
Really?
oh yeah, that's like a through hiking for me, like the ideal ultralight through hiking backpack. Like it's yeah. So this brand. So I compared the Yule 40 to other brands, which I don't know if it's okay for me to say, but I
Sure.
don't care.
Yeah.
No, I mean for my brand, but it's okay.
Oh.
I don't care. They all like good folks. We're
Yeah.
all friends. But for example, Palante backpacks, I think the fastpack is like a competitor for those packs. Like it's like similar on weight, similar on capacity. Um, but for me, it's more comfortable. So
Right
I've
on.
used Palante backpacks, great backpacks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that the strap systems on the fastpack, I'm looking at one right now. That's why I'm looking that way.
Right, 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 right.
They're yeah, for me, it's super comfortable. And yeah, I think through hikers, man, like a lot, like right now, there's that I know, like 15 through hikers with fast packs that I know. Like people I actually like, hey man, I'm gonna hike the PCT or the CDT.
Jeez.
They like even like send me like a message before hiking, and I told her like I gave them like a discount, like hey, if you want support, it's okay, like, and yeah. So there's a lot of people hiking with
Wow.
the packs out there.
Dude, okay, first of all, it blows my mind that somebody can have a base weight like that. It really blows my freaking mind, dude. I don't know. Like right now what I rock is a ULA circuit, right? It's huge. I mean, it's like 60-liter capacity or something like that. Now, do I use all 60 liters? No, I don't. Unless I'm rocking a bear can through the Sierras with 8.5 days of food, which I
Yeah.
did at the JMT. So it's good for that. But I I don't know. I'm like, how the heck are people doing? I think one thing is I always do long food carries. So I'm always having this giant bag with so much weight because I always hate resupplying, which doesn't make any sense because it just makes the hiking harder, right? So, do you have any, I guess, and you've through hiked a lot. So, do you have any like tips for people to like easy tips for people
Yeah.
to go like they kind of have a big bag right now, right? Or it's a big bag at least compared to someone rocking a 30-liter fast pack. What are some like maybe a couple things that you would give like advice on for people that maybe kind of slim down their bag?
Yeah, well, first of all, I don't through hike that much.
You did the
But
PCT and the CT. What are you talking about, bro?
well, just a section of the PCT, like a lash.
You lashed it. Hey, I'm a lasher of the PCT as well.
Oh, really?
Love it. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, but I do hike here too. But well, man, I don't know because I have a full inflatable pad. I
Right.
have my stove, you know, I do not have a pillow, like that's for sure.
Okay. First of all, I have a pillow, all right, and I love it. So,
God damn, no man.
yeah,
You have to leave it.
I have. That's my. Come on, man. That's
Let
my
it
comfort
go,
item.
man. Let it go. Just you know what I do? I just I have my tent and like a stuff sack, and well, my tent is like always like filthy, of course. So I just turn it inside out and I stuff it with dirty stuff, and I use that as a pillow, for example. That's a good tip.
Huh.
So you don't
Oh,
have to
your
use,
tent. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Your tent stuff sack.
yeah.
I get what you're saying. Okay, I use that as my little hug a pillow.
Oh man, so
Look, bro.
you
Look, bro. I like to sleep in luxury because if I don't get good sleep, I become a troll on the trail.
no, me
But anyway, I
too.
don't want to hijack this for you. So okay, keep going on.
No, it's okay. No, man. I feel you, man. So, for example, I don't have a Dyneema composite tent. I have a Tarp 10 Pro Trail, which is made of seal nylon, which is not like a it's not DCF, you know, like it's not like super ultra light. I mean, it's really lightweight. And I was like, maybe if I can get like the DCF version, I can have a Nemo sleeping pad so my arms can rest. You know, like
Right.
for me, it's like super important to sleep well on the trail. But
Yeah.
people, like some people use like regular, I don't know where's mine, like foam pads like these, you know, like, yeah, me too. I'm like, man, come on, take care
Yeah.
of yourself. But I don't know, man. I don't have clothes. Like I just have like a
He wears
merino,
no clothes on the trail. Completely naked.
some shorts, and that's
Yeah.
it. No, I only have like a, you know, like one shirt for sleeping,
Right.
like merino
Yeah.
wool,
Mhm.
short sleeve, and some leggings. I don't know how to say it in English, like
Mhm.
leggings. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's like my extra clothes.
Mhm.
So I think that that helps too. And my sleeping pad, my quilt is like alignment equipment, and that's like super lightweight. So
Mhm.
I think you're like the big three are some of the first
Yeah.
things you need to like invest, and so they can be like lightweight and you can pack them really small, and there you go. Then you can just don't take like extra shit like a pillow and
Yeah,
and
Chad.
and I don't know what else people take, like a chair. There was this guy on this on the CT hiking with a chair, you know, like
Yeah.
with a chair and no and a pair of sneakers. So he had like his boots and a pair of sneakers, and I was like, man, he was jacked, you know, like he was so big, and I was like, man, if I will be you, I will carry that too. I mean, he was like with his chair on the camping spot, you know. Yeah.
Oh gosh. I know. That is hilarious, man. It's definitely not my style of hiking, I'll tell you that. Unless, it's like a overnight thing. I'm like, okay, then I'll bring the luxury items, but it's like through hiking, I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty going bare bones. The CT I actually cold soaked. I don't think I'll do that again though.
I saw your video of you swearing all the time on the CT.
Me swearing? No. No way. Yeah, yeah. No, I know. It was hilarious, right? Yeah, that little mashup. I'll have to put that in the show notes. It's a good one.
Oh
Yeah, the
man,
CT.
really good video. I love
Yeah.
that. Oh man, like these guys are just like showing the other side, man. Yeah.
The other side. I know, because it's like, man, it's like you watch every single video like that. It's all like, oh,
Super
so
romantic.
I love it. And I'm like, dude, you guys are such BSers, man. Like, Like it's such a roller coaster on a through hike. It's
Oh yeah.
just like there's so much stuff, but that's what makes it memorable, I guess. But anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So you actually did the CT win.
Last year.
Okay, right on.
Last year, yeah. Amazing trail.
Isn't
I, I
it?
I think that's like the last trail you have to do in your life,
Yeah.
because you do that and then everything is gonna be like,
Mhm. I know.
yeah, like not as
Mhm.
beautiful as that. I mean, it was amazing. Yeah.
Agreed. You're just in the high country for so long, and
Man.
just the first 100 miles, I wasn't that impressed. The first 100 miles, but after Breck, I'm like, dang,
Man,
this
I
is
was so impressed that the first 100. I'm like, is that a pine tree? Holy shit.
yeah,
Pine trees.
yeah, I know, right?
We don't have those in the, no, actually, we're the country with more pine tree diversity in the world.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mexico?
Yeah,
Huh.
crazy, right?
Did not know that. That
Yeah.
that would be a fact that I would get wrong on any kind of game show. That's for sure, dude.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
oh my gosh. But anyway, okay, so so here's one thing. Okay, so how do you so you're in this backpacking brand, right? Like
Yeah.
that's what you're doing. How do you and so you're obviously the owner of this brand. How do you balance the demands of running your business but with your passion of hiking and outdoor adventure? So like does it ever kind of like steal time away from it, do you feel like? Do you feel like once you started working like you did it less, or has it amplified it? How has that experience been for you?
Well, of course, you know, like every goal of a company is to make money.
Mhm.
So we are making money and I'm making money, and that's like easier for me to travel, and
Mhm.
that's like a gate that has that it's open, that maybe is what it was not open like a few years ago. So I think, and hopefully I can do more like through hikes and more traveling, but also because we're in a transition of growing and to being like a more systematic kind of company right now. There's like me, Ava, that is like the communication
Mhm.
manager, and the sewers, and that's it. Like,
Right.
so if I leave, I need to set like everything super organized. My family obviously helped me, but yeah, I mean, for example, I wanted to do. So I have an Italian passport because my dad is Italian. So I wanted to go to Europe to like study 1 semester, because I'm in college right now.
Mhm.
That is not helping too. So,
Jeez.
and I can't go, like I can't go, and I would love to make a master in Europe, and I don't think I will be able to do it. So of course it's awesome to be your own boss, and it's awesome to do, because I don't feel like I'm working. Like for me,
I
it's
I
like
get that. Mhm.
it's like I'm living my dream. But this like this other side of the coin, that I mean, some stuff for other stuff. We need to learn how to. I guess I'm not like a motivational speaker, but I guess we have to sacrifice some stuff. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, no, dude, I totally agree. There's pros and cons with everything,
Yeah.
right? But I would say overall, like being your own boss and like having your own brand and like working in the outdoor industry, way better than working for someone else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, because when I was working for somebody else, I always had like my monthly budget.
Mhm.
I was gaining my money, like, and I knew I was gonna get that. And right now I'm getting like super good like incomes in 1 month, and then 3 months is shit. It's
Bro,
like,
yeah, it's just like through hiking. Some days are good, some days are bad, man.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
I totally get it. Yeah, some days you're just like, oh my God, what am I gonna do to make? Well, and then you have payroll, right? I'm guessing. So you're paying people, obviously, which is something we could get into too here.
And yeah, I mean, how we work with the sewers is so they're not like only working for me, like there's like this group, and
Mhm.
so they do like other stuff, But so I pay them 4 pack, like for each pack, because that's like the best way to do it here. And we pay like a super high salary for each pack. So each pack, it was, I don't know if I can say this, but I don't care. It's okay. They told me like, okay, for each pack is, how much they told me, how much is 100 and 150 pesos is, oh man, like $7.5. Okay, for each pack, like for building.
US. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, they told me like, okay, for this pack it's like 7.5. So this is Mexico, and I was like, no, man. And we're paying them like $20 to $25 for each pack, and they can build one in 2 hours. So if we have more sales, they're gonna win more money. And if you have like, so if you pay them like a salary, like a monthly salary, I will have to pay them less. If we grow in the future, they're gonna earn less money, because if I'm making like 300 backpacks, they're gonna be like pay like, I don't know, a certain amount each month if they're making like 100 on 300 backpacks. I don't know if this is confusing.
That confused me. But what I did catch is the fact that currently, though, you're basically paying them over double what they would have got paid.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of speaks to something that your brand is kind of about, which is like kind of bringing higher wages to folks in Mexico.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, well, because it's so easy to. So here's the deal, and maybe my fellow Mexicans are not going to be very proud that I tell this, but here in Mexico, because salaries are so bad, like if you give an 18-year-old kid, so there's like this organized crime. They have like these folks that just are in a bike in the city, just checking out stuff, in a motorbike. They are called how do you say, like hawks. That's like the name, halcones. And they're like in their motorcycles checking like everything that's going on with a phone, and they're like, hey, so this happened, and those people work for the organized crime, and they give them like, I don't know, like $500 a week, no, sorry, a month, $500 a month. And for them that's like super high. And they have like a gun, they have the payment, and they have a motorbike. So they will prefer like way more like do that than have another work that are gonna pay them like $500 a month, So that's the problem. So if companies pay their workers 1,000 a month instead of 500, people are going to choose to do the right things, But because people don't like to spend money on the people, so that's what happened. And people are going to say like, oh no, Mexico is so insecure, there's a lot of crime. And I'm like, man, well, you have to start paying your workers high salaries, man. That's the only thing you have to do. That's the only like actual thing that can do something. You can do something about it. If you're an entrepreneur and you have that power, but people prefer to save some bucks. It's crazy, right?
Well, I think what you're doing is super admirable, and I hope people caught that. I mean, basically you're sacrificing your profits and your cash flow for, trying to make it a better environment where you're living. I mean, for other people.
Yeah, and yeah, for sure, I could like have better profits for sure, but it's okay. I mean, I'm a happy man, and I'm proud too of what I'm doing, and I think is the right way to do. And yeah, man, thank you.
Yeah,
It is admirable. I think so. I don't want to be modest, but I really hope that people get to know what we're doing here in Mexico, and maybe start. And I guess it's kind of the same thing in the US, maybe a little bit different, but like Amazon and all these like huge companies like pay the minimum, like, and it's not right, like people should have like a better life quality,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's okay.
Well, dude, that is super inspiring to me. Yeah. And again, that's one of the reasons I connected with your brand. I think that's why a lot of people do too, if they're aware of that type of thing, which is why one reason why I wanted to have you on the podcast, which was because, I mean, a lot of other backpacking brands aren't necessarily doing something like that. And yeah, it's just a totally different type of business, I guess, that they're running,
Yeah, some stuff for other. I mean, not maybe not everyone. For me, paying them 20 to 25 bucks a backpack, it's super high. For maybe in the US, it's like super low. But here in Mexico, it's okay. But for the US, maybe it's more difficult because I'm selling in US dollars,
Right.
and I'm producing in Mexico. So I have that advantage that I can do that. But maybe in the US is more difficult. So I don't judge them. I mean, I have the opportunity and I can do it. And maybe in the US is different, and it's okay. I mean, not everybody can do it. Hopefully that's the reason.
Yeah, right. That's awesome. Well, that's, like I said, super inspiring. I love that about the brand. Now, where do you feel like the brand, or where do you see the company in 5 years? How do you see it evolving? Like, how is it? Do you have any plans? I know one of your plans we talked about before we jumped on the call, or one thing you were trying to get into. But yeah, where do you see it in like 5 years?
Well, I started in September 2020, and I remember my first batch of backpacks were like 5 backpacks. And I was like, holy, like damn, there's like a lot of backpacks. And right now we're doing like batches of 100. So I've never thought that like 3 years ago. Like I never thought about that. I never thought it was possible. So I don't know. What I do know is that the brand has potential to grow, and people all around the world feel, or I think that they feel like this attraction to the brand because I think that we do things properly. Like I care about the design. I care about how the brand looks. I care about how the backpacks looks. For me, maybe it's because I'm half Italian, maybe, but for me, like the design and the small things kind of are super important. For example, I never saw this, but like the interior of the backpacks. So we have like this super fancy, like orange kind of a seam, and for me, like those details for me are like, I love that on the backpack. And I think because we care about that stuff, people like that kind of things, I guess. So I do think like we can grow to where, I don't know, but hopefully a lot. I'm gonna do everything I can to make it happen.
Yeah.
I'm an
Well,
ambitious guy, that's for sure.
well, yeah. I mean, you own a brand. You said you're going to college,
Yeah.
right? What are you studying in college?
I'm studying GIS.
I don't know. What is that?
GIS is Geographical Information
Oh,
Systems. So yeah, so it's like manipulation of satellite information in specialized softwares.
nice.
And so yeah, geography, kind of a geography in a geographic approach.
Got it.
So yeah, that helps me to give me the tools to hopefully one day make a nice trail here in Mexico.
Okay, so that was another question I had, because that was
Oh,
something that
sorry.
no,
I
no, no, that's perfect. That's a perfect segue, because I was wondering about, so it sounds like, and we kind of talked about this a little bit in one of our first calls, but we talked about, you had a goal of creating basically like a long trail or some kind of trail through Mexico,
yeah.
right? And then you kind of ran into some obstacles with it, right? And so where are you at with that process? You thinking maybe when you graduate, you'll kind of revisit that?
Um, I mean, for sure, I'm gonna try. But as we already discussed, there's a bunch of obstacles, and mostly you have to create um, a plan so it can be like an official trail that the government, has to how to say, like, so the government knows that this trail exists, and that process in Mexico is like so bureaucratic, like it's you need to do a lot of steps and you need to contact a lot of people. And the thing is, like, after the revolution in 19 in the beginning of the last century, yeah, okay, yeah. um, so after the revolution, the government split like the whole country in these like private properties. So the country is like divided in these a lot of like small properties, which a lot of families are owners of this property. So you'll need to set like a meeting with all the owners and tell them like, hey, so there's gonna be a trail that passes through your private
Right.
property. And probably they're gonna be okay, like, but to just make this meeting is like super hard. So the process is almost impossible, but maybe we can do a small trail in a small scale, and like a maybe like a 100 kilometer, 100 mile trail. And I think that is possible, like a small trail, in which locals know that people from all around the world will come. So they need to take care of the tourists, like Cancun and like Puerto Vallarta and like Tequila, which is like these like worldwide touristic spots. And I think those trails need to begin in one of these places, like Cancun, Playa del Carmen, Puerto Vallarta, Tequila, these like super touristic spots. Those are like super good spots to make a trail. So that's like my approach. And yeah, I think it is possible. I'm an ambitious guy, as I told you. So maybe if we find the right people and the right team, we can make it. Yeah.
Ooh, I love it, man. I see. I love hanging out with ambitious people, because it makes me stoked just listening to stuff. But yeah, that would be cool. I mean, I've never been to Mexico, and I mean, I've heard of all those places. I don't know how far away apart they are, but it'd be cool to have a trail that like connects them all or something. I don't know, or connects a few or so of them, or is it
Yeah.
too much space in between?
Oh, for example, Cancun and Tequila. So Tequila is super close from Guadalajara, which is where the tequila is from.
Mhm.
Um, so that's like Cancun is like 1,000 miles away. Yeah, but um, yeah, we could do like something local, in which you can connect these small like. So there's this name that is Pueblos Mágicos, magic towns, and there's like 100 in the whole country, which is like this. It's like this town that needs to have like some specific kind of stuff that makes them like very touristic, like like some history or architecture or cultural. And we have a few here in Jalisco, so we can maybe do something connecting them, and it will be amazing. It will be like a. I think if we make like a trail, it's going to be more similar to like in Spanish, like in European system, in which you arrive like each day to some place.
Right.
Like I think that's the way to do it here.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot
That's
of
cool. Look at
yeah,
that. We're brainstorming on the pod.
yeah.
You heard it here first. So when you create this trail, we're gonna replay this video over the promo video for the trail. That would be really cool. That would be
Yeah,
sweet.
yeah, we
Well,
would. Yeah.
awesome. Awesome, dude. Well, if so, how can people catch up with you, find your backpacks? Where's the best place for them to connect with you at?
Well, and you can set like a contact form on the website. That's like we get a lot of those,
Mhm.
and a lot. Well, yeah, Instagram. I mean, anything, and also GarageBand Gear is like one of the
There you go.
spots where you can buy a pack in the US and they can ship it like in 2 days or so. They don't have stock right now, but they just like place an order. So they're gonna have some soon. Yeah.
Yeah, because you that's right. Because that's kind of like that's like one of the bigger places that you're in, like actually have stock in. Your backpacks are there or whatever. Garage grown gear.
Yeah. Also, this place in Korea like bought like a bunch of packs, like in the like nothing, like just like they can okay, we want like 40 backpacks, and I okay, there you go.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Well, that's
And
awesome. So I will leave website, your personal website, Garage Grown Gear website, and Instagram on the show notes.
oh yeah.
And
So
so people listening, feel free to check out the bags. I love the design on them. I think they look really sweet. I like the orange and black is really it's a cool color. Yeah.
yeah, me
Yeah.
too. Of
Love that.
course.
He's like, yeah, I do too. Yeah, I made them. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, awesome, dude. Well, thank you so much again for coming on the podcast. Super inspiring to hear your story about this. And I can't wait to see it start to explode here as the years go by. So
Yeah, hopefully. Maybe this podcast will help. So
the Peanut Butter Mountains podcast, that's and all the sales just go fish. Boom.
thank you so
Yeah.
much
Yeah.
for having. Actually, I was like, we should just like chat, and it's
Mhm.
gonna be like so interesting. So I didn't even knew that you wanted to talk about the brand because you have your like your followers and all that,
Mhm.
and I was like, it's okay. I don't think you will like it, but man, I'm so
Oh
thankful
yeah.
that you wanted to share that, and I appreciate it. And yeah, that was very nice from you. I appreciate it.
Well, dude, my pleasure. I think you have a really strong why for your brand, and I think that people need to know about that. And it's super inspiring. You're a great dude too. And that's actually one thing too that I've seen with some of the comments on the backpacks and stuff was people were always like, "Oh yeah, he's always responding to the messages quickly, like super nice guy," which is super important. I
Yeah.
mean, that can be especially in like this day and age, it's important to make that connection with people, which it seems like you have. So yeah, man.
Yeah. Thank you very much.